Hello and welcome to Princeton High School for district action in Division I girls. It's our final game of the day in this gym as the Mount Notre Dame Cougars will be taking on the Bellbrook Golden Eagles. Hello, I am Bill Bretz, and joining me is Glenn Olson. Glenn, I think everybody, we're going to talk a lot about stats on Mount Notre Dame tonight, about how just an awesome power they are. Might be the best girls program in the state ever.
Yeah.
You know, good. But the Bellbrook team's not a bad team. They're coming in here tonight. So
yeah, Bellbrook led by Coach Jason Tencher, 23-2 in their regular season. Their two losses came in back-to-back days in a tournament, line to the hoop up in the Dayton area, I believe it was. 13-0 in the Southwestern Buckeye League. Fantastic team, seeded number 3. They're going to have to shine their brightest today to take on this Mount Notre Dame team, and the word dynasty is what comes to mind when I think about Mount Notre Dame. These teams last met over 10 years ago with Bellbrook defeating the Cougars 46-38.
Yeah, that was during a regular season game, and this is the first time they went. So Mount Notre Dame, the stats, they have won 96 straight games. That's almost hard to comprehend.
Yeah.
96 in a row they have won. 108 is the state record, and they won't get it this season if they continue to win, but they continue to win next year, they will do it again. They're second in that. Their last loss was back in 2019 in Sharonville, so I mean it's amazing to think of the run that this team has had. And Scott Rogers has been with that run this time around, and of course the other runs they had earlier in the decade of the 2000s, in which they won 4 straight championships in that title. They have 8 titles. That's the most of any team in the state of Ohio. He says one of 7 titles, but they have now won 8. So they are alone at the top there as far as that goes. So,
the ironic thing, think about the pandemic-shortened season of 2020. That could have been another one.
Yeah, they could be going for their 4th straight title if it wasn't. They ended that season in the state semifinals. That game was called on. I think Josh was at that game. Was that the game that you were at that they called it off like 30 minutes before the game was being played? They had decided to not play it, but anyway, the Golden Eagles, you said they're 23-2. They come in. They're from the Southwestern Buckeye champions there. Their last district title was during 2018, and that's during their Final Four run at that time. So Mount Notre Dame is the home team tonight. So we'll talk about the Bellbrook Golden Eagles. You said Jason Tencher. He's in his 18th year of coaching there, and the winner of this game, by the way, will advance to play Princeton. We have some thoughts on that game, where it's going to be here throughout the game here tonight, because that'll be on Tuesday in the regional finals.
Princeton had a very impressive win over Lakota East earlier today, Bill, as you know. So shaping up to be a great matchup with the winner of this game, whoever it may be.
Yeah, Bellbrook is starting all underclassmen. Taylor Scoey, she is a sophomore, averages 14.7 a game, 5.5 rebounds, and she was player of the year in the Southwestern Conference. And Jason Tencher was coach of the year. Allianne Meyer is a sophomore. She'll be starting, so she'll be number 4 for that. Kelly Griffin, a junior, number 10 for the Golden Eagles. Olivia Trusty is a junior, and Ashley France a junior. So they are starting all underclassmen there in the game tonight, and you can see the 5 starters out there for the Golden Eagles. As they said, they come in 23-2. So they're number 8 in the state too.
It's going to be very interesting, Bill, because Bellbrook can score points and they don't give up a lot. They're giving up an average of 37 points a game, and Coach Tencher told us in his notes that they try to hold opponents under 40. They're going to have their hands full today with the Cougars, but should be an exciting matchup.
Cougars get the ball. KK Bratsford, she's everybody's all-American, I would say right now. A great player for the Cougars. She'll be starting 21-8 a game, 8 rebounds, 5 assists a game. She can do everything. Keisha Francisco, Taylor Stanley, Abby Wortherman, and Crystal Lacrosse are your other scorers or other starters. And speaking of KK, she just got the first points of the game, which is no surprise.
Stole the ball and took it right to the hoop. She will be playing collegiately at Notre Dame.
She'll take the mount off and just go to Notre Dame.
There you go.
Our officials tonight, Kelly Whalen is our head official tonight. Bill Sisto and Audrey Bumpus are our 3 officials tonight.
Three-pointer.
Three-point is no good, and that was by number 4.
A little bit of contact there by Francisco holding back the Panthers player.
Allie-Ann Meyer. Golden Eagles have the ball triggering in on their side of the floor. In the paint, little scoop shot, no good.
Seen a lot of those today.
Yep.
That seemed to be the go-to play for the Comets in our earlier broadcast. So.
Waterman, the KK. Bradford with her second basket, her 4th point of the game, and she has all 4 of the points. And meanwhile, back down the other end. And that basket was by
Scoey.
So the 2 players of the years have scored so far in this game.
Nice steal.
And Scoey with the steal. Looking ahead, and
nice.
Oh, nice.
The heads-up play there.
She got a break right there, as Olivia Trusty was trying to save ball inbound, went off of a Notre Dame player, so they get the ball under their basket.
Yeah, it was off of Stanley. So good heads-up play. You get trapped down in the corner now, though.
And that's stolen by the Cougars. Stanley going to take the 3-pointer. No good. Put back up and in.
Bailey Broughton.
Yeah.
It's her first
Bailey
points.
Broughton, yeah. Bailey was starting here tonight. We didn't have her as a starter, but I believe she did.
Olivia Trusty, one of the Bellbrook starters.
Yeah, Trusty has
See Lacrosse, Bransford, Stanley, Francisco, and Walterman, starting 5 for the Cougars.
Brotman, no good in the paint, but put back up and in by Waterman. Abby Waterman, 11-4 a game, 9.2 rebounds, has her first basket.
We know she's going to be a force. The 5 starters for the Golden Eagles, Griffin and Meyer.
There's a drive, no good, and we have a foul coming up.
Scoey, Trusty, and France get the other starters in for the Golden Eagles. Sorry about that.
Trusty picks up her first foul of the game. You know what's impressive, Glenn, of this 96-game win streak that Mount Notre Dame has? They play an extremely tough non-league schedule.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, we know the GGCL has always been a tough league overall in sports, but that's what makes it more impressive. They're not playing little slouch teams here. They're playing some top-notch teams around the country even.
Yeah. I mean, you go and look at a rundown other schedule. Sheridan High School, Crown Point, Gahanna Lincoln, North Central Indianapolis, Ryle High School, Princeton, Centerville, East Central out of St. Leon, Indiana, Pickerington Central, who we know has a strong tradition.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they loaded up for sure to get ready for these runs in the tournament.
Bradford with the block. Coming back the other direction now for the Cougars. Bradford, and she loses the ball, but it was actually off of Bellbrook player.
That's going to stay there. So Kaylee Bransford, sister of KK, checks into the game for the first time.
So Scott Rogers is losing to Bransford, but he's going to have another one here for 3 more years. We have both Bransford sisters on the floor at the same time.
Bailey Broughton, her first foul of the game. Lots of substitutions for both teams. So So Ashley France checks into the game for Bellbrook.
Bellbrook bringing the ball over the floor here. We're approaching the 4-minute mark of the first quarter. Off the rim, they get offensive rebound. In the paint, little floater shot, and that's it's good by Dree Price. It's her first basket.
Really impressed by Bellbrook. They're not backing down. They're going right to the hoop.
Yeah. They're going to have an answer, though, for that person right there. KK Bradford, her 6 point.
Yep, 6 of Cougars' 10 so far. Well, just as I say, they're going right to the hoop. Now they're going to slow down and move the ball around a little bit. Never fails.
Yeah.
Kind of forced that shot a little bit, which is surprising after the patience they showed in the early part of that possession.
Bradford takes a 10-footer. No good. Broughton with the rebound. Couldn't get it to fall, though. Fast break. Points good. And that was by number 12, Dree Price. Coming off the bench, has 4 points so far. It's a 2-point ball game. And a steal now by Bellbrook.
And a whistle.
Yeah. Abby
Yep, go ahead,
Walterman picks up her first foul. You can see the Price with the basket.
Look at the reaction here.
And we have the reaction from the bench there.
Jason
That's good.
Tincher, yeah.
Good picture right there. Didn't see the basket, but we knew what happened.
Great shot.
Oh, nice feed underneath, and basket is good.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm very impressed by Bellbrook so far, Bill.
Scully with the basket. That's her 4th point. It's a tie ball game.
Yeah, maybe, as I said, maybe they're just not old enough to know any better. They don't seem to be intimidated at all. They're playing their game.
Three-point attempt, and it is good. Francisco, Keisha Francisco with the 3-pointer.
Bellbrook's going to try to answer back one.
Francisco with the rebound now. Back the other direction comes the Cougars. 2-point lead. Francisco again, and got it again. Is that going to be 3? Yes, it is. 2 straight threes.
Timeout on the floor. And our PA announcer is going to be hoarse by halftime at this point, Bill.
Jason Tincher calls it timeout. He wants to talk this thing over with as Francisco 2 straight 3-pointers. And Francisco came in 12 of 30 on the season, 40%.
You see Francisco's first one. Just pass over into the corner from Bransford, KK Bransford. And here she is going to take a pass on the right wing.
From KK.
Yep.
And you see Scott Rogers, Sonny Tudor there. He's got some longtime coaches in there. Sonny Tudor, Freights and Fritz Hugh. Of course, one of his former players from back in the early 2000s, Michelle Jones, is one of the coaches too in the team. Scott, many years at Mount Notre Dame. He did spend some time over at Indian Hill for about 4 years when his daughter was playing over there, but came back in 2014 to Mount Notre Dame and's been there since.
Yeah, you just can't say enough just about how impressive all the statistics are. And speaking of Coach Rogers, he's being calmed down by one of our officials on the floor.
Well, I think he's questioning whether he wants to get a player into the game there. He's got Sarah Hoffman over, and they wouldn't let her in for some reason. Back the other direction now comes Bellbrook. And there is the block by Francisco. That got a reaction from Mount Notre Dame crowd.
Yeah. You know, Francisco almost looked effortless on this block. You're going to see it here on the replay. She didn't have to do a whole lot there.
Nope. Now Hoffman's in the game. Sarah Hoffman, a 5'8" sophomore. And a little scoop shot and a foul coming up here. That was by number 12, Price. Ooh, Alderman just picked up her second foul.
Yeah. Keep an eye on that for sure.
And she's going to be coming out of the game here. Well, they kind of rolled her in there, but Price got the foul shot.
So Layla Harrison, 00, checks in for the Cougars, Bill.
Price, 58% foul shooter, got both of them. She's got 6 of her team's points, and she's coming off the bench doing that. 6 is the 12 points.
One thing Mount Notre Dame does so well, good spacing on the floor, good movement.
Oh, how about Francisco? Talk about being hot right now. 3 straight three-pointers. Scored the last 9 points after a tie ball game.
A block there.
That was by Harrison, who just came in the game.
Yep, sure was.
KK into the paint. KK with the rebound off the backboard and out of bounds. It's going to stay down. Nope. They say it's going to go to Bellbrook.
That was awful light. Look at Francisco from right at the top of the key.
She's got him from 3 different directions there. Left, right, and then right in the middle now.
She got a pretty good roll there, but she'll take it.
Yep.
Looked like it was going to rim out and found a way to roll in.
50.2 seconds ago. Mount Notre Dame, #1 ranked in the state, and somebody didn't get their assignment right there. They just threw it out of bounds, and Mount Notre Dame is going to get the ball underneath their basket. #1 in the state, number 24, Max Preps, USA, is the Cougars.
Yeah, just as I said a moment ago, very impressive when you start talking about all your accomplishments and records and streaks.
This is a team that doesn't rebuild, they just reload. Easy basket by Price.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an old school cherry pick play. She was hanging out on the other end, took that pass, and went up pretty much uncontested.
8 points off the bench. Pretty impressive there for Dree Price.
Yeah, she was hanging back and all alone to the glass.
Price came in. She is, they have a very impressive with the all-league. As we said, Jason Tincher was coach of the year. Taylor Scobie was the, and there we see about KK, 29th in the class of 22.
Yes, we had Oldacre in our first broadcast, who was 25th, I believe. Now Bransford, 29th.
But in their conference, France, Griffin, Meyer, Bryce, and Scoey were all first team. Trusty was honorable mention.
Yeah, very impressive program, and as we said at the top of the show, very young.
And there is a possession call. It's gonna go with Bellbrook. Bailey Broughton back in the ball game for the Mount Notre Dame Cougars.
Yeah, Trey Price, the lone senior on this Bellbrook squad. The rest range from freshman to junior. Heavy on the sophomores and juniors.
Senior is showing some leadership in his game so far tonight, and another unforced turnover here. Wow. Abby Waterman back in the ball game. Come back in 12 seconds to go here in the first quarter. She comes back on the floor with 2 fouls. Harrison takes a seat on the bench. Bradford with the ball. 9 seconds to go. Cougars playing for that last shot. In the paint, up and in by Walderman. Just came off the bench.
Yeah, Bransford and Walterman are an incredible 1-2 punch. You saw why right there.
We've come to the end of the first quarter. Mount Notre Dame up 21-14 after the game was at one point in time. They were tied at 10-all. You see this last basket by Waterman. But Keisha Francisco got hot with the 3-point shot, made 3 of them in a row. And Mount Notre Dame now has pushed up to a 7-point lead. Now, as you see Scott Rogers, you see there's Michelle Jones right there to the right of the picture there, one of his former players. So she made that run back in the early 2000s. They won, they had a run in there for a few years here where in 1989 they were in D2. They made it to the Final Four. In the 2004 state champions, 2005 they were second place, and then state champs in 6, 7, 8, and 9. 17, 19, and 21 are the years that they were state champions. It's 8 state championships. They were in a tie. Josh had the right thing up there. They were in a tie up to last year, but they won that 8 state championship last year to now be on top. Starting the second quarter here, Bill Bress, Glenn Olson, glad you've joined us here for district championship tonight. Winner goes on to play Princeton in the regional semifinals.
Rare miss for Francisco on the three-pointer.
Yep. And Bellbrook had a problem getting it out of there, but now they moving it back up the floor. They're going to try a three-point attempt. Misses everything. KK with the ball.
Except for dribble.
Kind of directing traffic right now.
Francisco wide open, moving the left wing. Bellbrook doesn't want to leave her open.
KK back over, wide open for a three-point. No good.
Francisco
still battling underneath there. Nobody has scored yet, but Mount Notre Dame still has the ball. And there's foul.
It's going to be on Price. Be her first.
So Price has the first foul. 2 fouls on the Golden Eagles. Kelly Whalen, the official with the ball right now. She and Bill Sisto are going to be at the state championships this year as officials. So congratulations to them. And easy shot. And that's Bryce again. Boy, I tell you, she's been hot.
Yes.
Got 10. And really going big time on defense.
It's going to be a foul on Price.
But she just picked up her second foul, so 2 quick fouls.
And you see Price with the bucket.
Jason Tinch is going to keep her in the ball game with 6:42 to go here in the first half. 5-point lead now for the Cougars. And they have a turnover now. Well, Bellbrook can creep back in a little closer now.
You know, I didn't go through Bellbrook's or Mount Notre Dame's entire season of box scores, but all in all, they've only had a handful of close games. 4 of them. Centerville, Ursuline, Olmsted Falls, and Lakota East. Other than that, they've cruised pretty handily. And those games were 4 and 6 points.
There's a basket, and that is good. Taylor Stanley with the drive and the basket, her first basket of the game. And she was fouled by Ashley France.
Ashley France, yeah.
Yep. Stanley at the line, 89% foul shooter. That's got to be a rare miss, but how about Francisco picks up the rebound, puts it in. Boy, when one thing goes bad, they get something else goes good for them.
Right.
That quickly. That's why they're such a great team. They will open up a 9-point lead now again.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting with Mount Notre Dame. They all have a variety of roles to play in different situations.
Yep. Bryce in the paint and got it. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul on her. And that will be 3 on her.
Take a look at it here on the replay.
Let's see who picked. I think it was Francisco that took it, yeah.
Yeah, it was Francisco. Her feet were set.
Well, Jason Tincher had no choice. He has to take her out of the game now at 5:28 to go with 3 fouls. That's tough, taking out your hottest player.
Yeah, I would be surprised if we see her back in this half.
No.
Guess that kind of goes without saying, huh? You have 3 fouls.
And basket, no good. Bellbrook with the rebound. And no shots, no good. KK Bradford back the other direction now. KK in the paint. Doesn't fall, but she's fouled.
So Elena Meyer, guilty of her first foul of the game.
And puts KK at the line for her first time tonight, 71% foul shooter. She now has 7.
Double-digit lead for the Cougars.
And misses. Golden Eagles.
Spreading out offensively.
Looks like the Cougars are in a 1-3-1 zone.
Yep. I just noticed that as you said it.
And dribbled out of bounds, and that is off of Bellbrook. So,
yeah, she didn't have anywhere to go. Not Notre Dame defender, using that baseline as an extra defender.
Boy, KK's got that right leg all wrapped up, doesn't she?
Yeah.
I mean, it's wrapped basically all the way up.
And then her left arm.
Yep. Doesn't seem to be bothered by anything on that.
Yeah. Hey, Bellbrook's fortunate to only be trailing by 10 because it seems like Mount Notre Dame is struggling with the second chance baskets.
France picks up her second foul. That's a 7th on the Golden Eagles, and KK has missed a second foul shot, 2nd in a row for her. Rare miss. That's more like it. She has 8. The Cougars have 11-point lead. We're approaching the 4-minute mark of this second quarter. And that is stolen by KK Bradford. Up the floor of the Stanley. Stanley trying to dish it off. And there's foul coming up.
Scoey.
Scoey gets her first foul. Scoey's been held to 4 points, and she got those early on in the game. Stanley has 3. That looks more like an 89% foul shooter to me.
Right.
13-point lead, largest now for the Cougars.
Bellbrook has to have a mistake-free possession here and get points out of this. It's already starting to get away from him. Need to start chipping away. Notre Dame back in that 1-3-1 after they were in a 2-3 on the last Bellbrook possession.
Cougars, what a tough defense they have. Wow. There's a tie-up. It's going to stay down on Bellbrook's side. Mount Notre Dame averages 56 a game, gives up 34. Bellbrook 59 a game, they give up 33. I know Scott Rogers really preaches defense, and it shows.
And that's why you get to be as successful, and he and his teams have been.
And you know, you see him down there coaching right now. They can be up 40 points, and he still is animate on the bench and coaches, you know.
Good wide open three-pointer, but off the back iron.
Oh, taken away and put back in. How's that about picking a pocket here?
Scully with 6 in the game now.
Scully do a little pocket picking there. Got a basket.
The lead back to 11.
Bradford in the paint. Shot is no good. Offensive rebound, though.
Wow.
Taken by Holderman.
Great job of saving that possession.
Broughton, I'm sorry, was the one offensive rebound.
Wide
Three-point attempt, wide open, no good. Taken by Lacrosse. Back the other direction. Oh, had an easy layup.
And then a foul afterwards.
And foul. That's a frustration foul on Scully. She had an easy layup and then missed it and then fouled.
Her second.
So Taylor Scully now has a pair of fouls.
It's too hard up off the glass. And going for a loose ball. And Jason Tincher not happy.
Francisco back in the ball game as Harrison takes a seat on the bench. And we just had a foul. I didn't catch the foul.
It was on Scully.
Scully. Oh, that's right. She's back down there. Get with the game, Bill. Okay. Lacrosse, 63% foul shooter. Got them both. Notre Dame back to that 13-point lead. 1:45 to go.
Boy, the physical matchup with Francisco. Saw right there at the foul line.
A little scoop shot she had. It was an easy drive to the basket, but she still couldn't get it to drop. Rasford. Back to Stanley. KK, nice job of controlling it. Francisco got another one. That's 4 of them now. 4 for 5 from the three-point arc.
14 points total so far.
Twenty-one is her high for the season.
She stays hot. Very good chance to exceed that.
Yep. And ball is lost out of bounds. Great guard by Bradford right there. Forced the turnover.
Right. Kelly Griffin couldn't get back to it. Let's go back and take a look at Francisco's 3-ball from the left side.
And another assist for KK.
Oh, hard foul. From Broughton. It's going to be Trusty, I believe, guilty on that foul.
That's her second. And I'll put Broughton at the lane. Bailey is a 41% foul shooter.
High arcing shot. Hit the back iron and fell to the right.
We were watching the previous game and seeing Oldacre, yeah, with her line drive shots.
She made a bunch of them.
Oh, yes, she did. Makes that one.
Cougars have almost doubled up. Bellbrook now. Bellbrook just really has struggled to find something offensively that will work. Even the little shots you think would be a gimme weren't falling for him in this quarter.
10 seconds ago. They get a three-pointer right there.
There you go.
That's by Trusty. She has 5. And we go to the halftime. The Cougars well in control of this game right now at 35-21. Glenn and I will be back for second half action here in just a moment from Princeton High School. Don't go away.
Leaves us with the next item on our agenda is item number 5, opening session.
I want to thank everyone for joining us this evening. If you're out here at the parade or listening, thank you again.
Into the end zone, and that is caught by Jaden Wood.
Come on now, how we doing? Y'all feeling all right out there?
Hello and welcome to this edition of This is Glendale. I'm Bet Chorus.
Hey guys, this is Unit 1 crew from Woodlawn Fire Department. We just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And of course, you can always go to ICRC-TV.com.
Always a great day when ICRC is involved.
Another edition of ICRC, bringing the community to you.
What's your favorite high school sports memory? A late inning rally? A game-winning shot? A photo finish? Maybe it's a pep rally or a pregame ritual. Maybe it's the euphoria of a late-night bus ride home after a hard-fought win. Maybe it's having pizza with teammates after the game. Now, imagine if it never happened at all. School sports need your help. With budgets getting tighter, it's more than the games that are on the line. It's all the traditions, the community pride, the culture of your hometown high school. Plus, all those memories that are on the line, too. What can you do? It's simple. Buy a ticket when you can. Go to a game. Take the whole family. Let's do everything we can to keep those cherished school sports memories alive.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in Ohio, who do you meet? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association. Looking for future leaders we can believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Ohio. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It includes learning to listen, accepting responsibility, being a good role model, and it's about respect. The result, it transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association and the Ohio Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The year was 1907. The Cubs won the World Series and the Ford Model R hit the assembly line. While here in Ohio, school administrators came together to form the Ohio High School Athletic Association. One thing that hasn't changed since 1907 is the dedication of the OHSAA to education-based athletics in Ohio. School sports teach responsibility, sportsmanship, and life lessons that stay with students long after their playing days are over. The OHSAA seeks to prepare students not for the next level of sport, but for the next level of life.
Why do they officiate? For some, it's a way of staying involved in a sport they grew up with. For others, it's a way to pay it forward by helping kids who play today and tomorrow. It's also a great way to stay active, make extra money, and work with friends. And all of them will say it boils down to one thing: the love of the game. Find your reasons and log on to OHSAA.org to find out how to become an official. You'll be glad you did. This is the Ohio High School Athletic Association. Educate through sports.
Hi, I'm Doug Ute, Executive Director of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. For more than 115 years, the OHSAA has promoted school sports as an important part of the student's educational experience. Interscholastic athletics teach participants lifelong lessons of hard work, teamwork, and self-discipline, along with sportsmanship, integrity, getting along with others, and overcoming adversity. One thing the pandemic has taught us is that being on a team with our friends is more important than ever before. So as you continue your journey in athletics, remember the importance of also working hard in the classroom. Always give your best, never give up, and have fun while you're doing it. As an Ohio native and former athlete who learned these same lessons myself, I encourage our young people to focus on your academics so that you can continue the privilege of participating on your team. After all, the lessons that school sports teach us today will prepare you for the wins and losses in life tomorrow. Education is the key to life's successes.
If I play sports for my school, I'll learn how to be part of a team.
I will have more friends. I will be active now and when I'm a grown-up.
I will learn how to work hard. I'll have better attendance.
I'll learn how to overcome adversity. I'll be more likely to go to college. I will learn how to get along with others. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school. If I play sports for my school.
I must learn to be a good student during school if I want to put on my uniform after school.
On air or online. This is
here at Princeton High School for district action here tonight, as the Cougars, Mount Notre Dame have a comfortable 35-21 lead at halftime. Bill Brett's Glenn Olson, and Glenn, stats, some interesting ones here.
Yeah, telling the tale of the tape for sure. The first thing that stood out, the Bellbrook leading scorer, Dre Price, on the bench with 3 fouls, but she was the leading scorer in the half with 10 points. Kelly Griffin with 5 assists. Shooting percentage really tells the story. Total field goal percentage, Bellbrook 9 of 25, 36%. That's okay. But from beyond the arc, just 1 of 8, 12.5%. That's not going to get it done.
Nope.
Whereas Mount Notre Dame shooting 40% from the field, 44% from behind the arc. So that's the big difference. Now, one of our keys to the game, Jason Tincher told us, is they like to hold a team to 40 points. Well, they've given up 35 to Mount Notre Dame in just 1 half.
So they have to give up only 4 points this half. I don't know if that's going to happen or not.
Well, and one other thing real quick, Bill, total rebounds, Mount Notre Dame leads 22-14. It's split evenly for the Cougars between offense and defense. For Bellbrook, 9 defensive, 5 offensive.
Broughton has, for Mount Notre Dame, Broughton has 3, Welderman has 4. Lacrosse has 2 foul shots. KK Brasford has 8. Stanley has 4. And Keisha Francisco with 4 3-pointers has 14 points, leading scorer of the game. Scully has 6 for Bellbrook. Price has 10, as Glenn said, off the bench. And Trusty has 5. Only 3 players have scored. But we really appreciate Jason Tencher, the coach who's in his 18th season there, sent us all different kinds of information on his team this week. We really appreciate that. He is a 1990 graduate of Bellbrook, 333 wins in his career. Went to Wilmington College. He was a first-team All-American wide receiver. I should have asked him why did he end up becoming a girls basketball coach after that. But anyway, he's very happy with this team this year, as he said. Only 1 senior on the team, and he's very excited working with this group of young ladies there. And Walterman right off the bat here has the first basket of this half and a 16-point lead.
A little bit of a desperation heave down underneath and fell right through. Much quicker ball movement for Bellbrook, seems coming out of the halftime from the adjustments.
And that's off of Mount Notre Dame player, Bellbrook. If we're a little hesitant here, their numbers are hard to. This is the second straight game we've had teams that have hard numbers to read, especially from a distance when we're up here, high up here at Princeton. And off the backboard, no good.
Yeah, just a heave up there, and it wouldn't just ricocheted off.
Walterman. There's Lacrosse, gonna try a 3-pointer, no good.
Francisco dives in there for the rebound and draws a foul.
Keisha Francisco at the line.
So now
Olivia Trusty has 3 fouls. Francisco.
And just of note, Dre Price still on the bench with those 3 fouls. She did not start the third quarter for Bellbrook.
Francisco first attempt tonight is no good, but she's 71% foul shooter. She should step back beyond the arc there. She's been a lot hotter back there. Got that one. 15 for her. Her high is 21 against North Central earlier this season.
Stays hot behind the arc. Good chance to beat that, right?
Absolutely. And no, KK. Whoa.
No foul.
No foul. No harm, no foul.
Boy, the entire bench Bellbrook was on their feet there, I think.
Oh, well, what about staying hot there? You called that one, Glenn.
It's 2.
Francisco. Her 5th 3-pointer.
Well, no, they called it 2. They said she had a foot on the line.
Okay, never mind.
No, you're good.
All right, we're just about there.
Timeout on the floor.
19-point lead.
30-second timeout.
Timeout by Bellbrook. So, and still not very happy with the officials over there.
Yeah, Coach Tencher just received a warning. Very close to getting teed up. I understand his frustration.
Yep, Kelly Whalen over there talking to him right now. He's not happy at all.
When you come into a buzzsaw of an opponent like this, you're in for a long day anyway, right?
Yeah. And you know, like I said, this team is number 8 in the state.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not a bad team.
They even got a first place vote from someone
yeah.
for first place in the state, so it's not a bad team at all.
And again, 1 senior on the roster this year, so got a feeling we'll be talking about Bellbrook for a while in the girls' postseason tournaments to come.
I tell you what, Francisco picked up her first foul, and the Bellbrook student section cheered over there.
I think they were just happy to see anybody in white get a foul called, right?
Yeah. Ooh. We have a possession call. It's going to stay down. Bellbrook's in, but we had one of the Bellbrook players there.
Price back on the floor now. You see her right there. Faced up with Francisco.
They got the ball in. It was close.
Yep.
Oh, nice feed, and they can't get it to fall.
Uh-oh.
They get offensive rebound though.
You get testy down there with Price and Francisco. I like what Bellbrook's doing here, but fortunately they keep making mistakes and turning the ball over.
And some nice ball movement there for a second, then they would then they throw the ball away.
Yep, that's why, you know, really liked what they were trying to do there, mixing it up, setting screens, trying to get somebody a clean look at the basket, and then they turn it over.
3-point attempt, in and out. Francisco, though, with the offensive rebound, gets back again now. She's going to the foul line.
Yep, she'll go back to the free throw line now. Well, her and Oldacre from our previous broadcast having similar games.
Yes.
So now Price has not even been on the floor for 2 minutes and picks up her fourth. And she's still there. Subs on the way after the first free throw.
Well, kind of in a district game, I guess you got to go with your hot person there as long as you can. Now she's going to take a seat on the bench. Francisco misses the first foul shot. Got the second one. She has 4 this half, 18 for the game. And Francisco going to get a seat on the bench here for a few minutes.
Have her with 18 points.
Yep. Leading scorer of the game right now.
Running through a double team as the zone collapsed.
Waterman with the rebound. KK with the ball. Directing traffic out there. Waterman into KK Brasford. Brasford gets the ball to fall. She's amazing underneath the basket. Now in double figures with 10. Kelly Griffin picks up her first foul. Brasford 2 for 4 from the line tonight. Gets that one. She has 11. About 10 under her average of 21.8. Doesn't need her average right now because Francisco's taking up the slack here tonight with 18.
Exactly right. You know that Bellbrook's going to key on KK. When they do that, it's going to free up someone else, and it's been Francisco so far.
Francisco's only a junior.
Wide open in the corner.
Oh, got it. 3-point. It's Griffin.
Kelly Griffin, our first points of the game.
Yeah, she's 8.4 average. That's her first basket of this half. KK in the paint. Scramble underneath. Waterman picks it up and rolls off the rim, but she's going to the foul line. You see Griffin's 3 coming up here.
Wide open in the corner. Had a great look. Shoulders squared up. Good form. Bangs it through.
And we didn't catch who the foul was on. But we did see Waterman at the line with the foul shot. She's a 72% foul shooter. It's her first time at the line tonight. Once again, Scott Rogers over there talking to Stanley, who just came out of the game. This is her second one. KK with the steal. KK's going to go all the way. Scoop shot, no good. Foul, though.
Whistles are getting a workout today.
Griffin picks up her second foul of this quarter. KK got the first shot. I'm checking up here and trying to catch up on fouls right now.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. I'm not having much luck.
Well, that didn't work, but KK got both her foul shots. We know that's true, so that's 13 points for her.
Ashley France has 3. It's the one I was missing.
Ashley, okay, that's it. France with 3. That's a turnover. I think it was threw back over the timeline, I believe. You don't see that very often.
Right.
Waterman triggering in the KK. Mount Notre Dame right now cruising in this game, going for their 97th straight win.
Just amazing to think about.
I know. Scoey just picked up her third. That's 6 foul.
You know.
I know it is. It's hard to say that number, even.
Sometimes your shooting's just cold. You have an injury. You have, a bad shooting night. Whatever, right? And just incredible to think about.
And they could have been going for 4 straight state championships this year if it wasn't for the pandemic season. And that's Kylie Brassford. How about another Brassford into the scoring column here? Freshman. That's a 3-point. And that was
Elena Meyer,
yeah. Thought they was number 4. That's only their second basket of this quarter. 2:15 to go. KK up. And is fouled.
My goodness, the fouls.
And
wow.
It's going to be on Scoey, too. That's her 4th.
Yep. So 2 of your starters now have 4 fouls, and third has 3 in Trusty. Scoey and Price, of course, the ones with 4. Trusty back out onto the floor with those 3 fouls.
Scoey's going to take a seat on the bench now. KK off the rim.
Got to watch from behind.
She's 4 for 5, and the steal by Mount Notre Dame.
Taylor Stanley came up, tipped it away to one of her teammates.
Stanley, and got the 5-footer. Stanley's 6 point. And you might say the route is on here. Notre Dame 25-point lead. And for being down 25 points, this Bellbrook team's pretty patient in there.
Wow.
Here's a steal.
Then that was a bad pass.
Yep. KK.
Imagine that, another foul.
And this time the victim is going to be France with her 4th foul.
France is a starter.
Wow. 3 players with 4 fouls now for Bellbrook. KK, get that line drive. She is 5 for 6. Make that 7 for 9 and 7 for 8. 7 for 9.
Another turnover.
Another turnover.
Turnovers and fouls do not add up to winning.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Stanley with her 8th point.
Bellbrook did a great job of hanging around in the first quarter, but boy, Mount Notre Dame has just flexed their muscles since then.
They took the wind out of their sails, you might say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very quiet bench down there with Bellbrook right now.
Scary moment there for Bransford. That was an awkward
Yeah, she was on the floor.
landing. Yeah.
She was on the floor for a few seconds there. Takes a seat on the bench, take a little rest now.
She was a little slow to get up, just regaining her breath, I guess. But boy, she fell down. Just looked really weird on that. I believe it was her right knee.
Waterman, Francisco now. We have a possession call. It's going to stay down with Mount Notre Dame.
Well, Golden Eagles electing to trap over the far sideline.
And Scott Rogers going to call timeout. 33.5 seconds ago. I don't know if we have playback times at the end of this quarter or not. Didn't hear anything yet from our truck. Okay. So thanks to Josh, doing a great job out there. Thank you for all the help he has. Also, we'd like to thank Princeton AD Joe Roberts, who's been our host here. And I'd like to thank LaToya Luther, the Secretary of the Athletic Office here, to supplied us with information. Appreciate it very much. Josh, of course, doing a great job out there in front. All of our ICRC volunteers. And if you want to volunteer for us, go ahead. ICRC-TV.com. Get a hold of Jason Dudley. We always can have volunteers. We'll have your playback times at the end of this quarter. We'll just tell it to you. So have pencil and paper ready. We have it. And that is number 10. Was that number 10?
I missed it, Bill.
I missed it too. Clock is running down. 8 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Bellbrook will not get the shot off. We go to 58-37 is our score at the end of 3 quarters. Our playback times, we'll tell you right now what they will be on the 26th. Okay, well, we're going to read them off right here. So people can write them down real quick. 2:30 on the 27th. 12:30 p.m. on Tuesday the 1st. Thursday the 3rd, 9:30 a.m. Yeah, brunch with Glenn and I. Friday the 4th, 8 o'clock p.m. Either on Spectrum or Cincinnati Bell, or you can go to ICRC-TV.com and get all of our games streamed live, including the games that we've had. I believe, Josh, tell me, is the Winton Woods game, is that going to be on ICRC, or is that just going to be on Waycross? Not sure. Okay. But we did, Glenn and I did do the earlier game here with Mason's win over Springboro, and that game will be on ICRC-TV. And I want to say happy birthday to my great niece, Kylie Fisher. After the game tonight, I'm going to the big party, the big bash, which is at our house. So be there in a little while there, Kylie.
Some cake in your future, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I think Kylie made the cake too. So there you go. So, anyway, happy birthday to her.
Yeah, you saw the bracket up on the screen. Winner of this game going on to play Princeton, and there's some doubt whether Princeton will be able to play on their home floor here. The Princeton staff believes they do.
We're
asking around to some folks, they think they're not. So we're waiting on the official word at some point.
We're kind of leaning that they probably won't.
Drew a strong reaction, huh?
Yeah. Kylie Bradford picks up her first foul. And that's the second foul for Mount Notre Dame. You know, they only committed 3 in the first half.
Yeah, it's amazing. As many whistles as we've had, the fact that Mount Notre Dame only has 3 tells you something.
Yeah.
Well, you just wonder, what do you do? If you're going to play physical like Bellbrook's been playing with Mount Notre Dame, and they're still going to jump out to the lead they have, how do you slow this juggernaut down?
I do not know. I don't know. Well, let's put it this way. In the last 96 games, nobody's had the answer
Right.
to that.
Oh.
And that is blocked.
Price.
Nice job for Dree Price. Blocking Walderman.
Price on the floor with those 4 fouls.
Still playing hard.
Yep. Bellbrook, good little run here of good things happening for them.
Yeah. Oh, easy basket underneath and couldn't get it. She was too deep underneath there to get the basket.
Bounced off the bottom of the backboard.
Nice attempt by Scoey. She's playing with 4 fouls. Player of the Year in the Southwestern Buckeye Conference. Great season this year, only a sophomore. 14.7 a game.
Well, we've seen some great young players today, haven't we?
Yes, we have. Francisco in and out.
Young meaning underclassmen.
Yes.
Playing at the varsity level.
Yeah, I think you were mentioning before, Division I programs like this, it's interesting to see so many young players playing on the varsity level.
Yeah.
There's a tie-up underneath. It finally gets called. It's going to stay down at Mount Notre Dame in, but we have Francisco on the floor. She's slow getting off the floor.
Diving for that loose ball, and yeah, just awkward there on that right knee, and rolled over onto her left leg.
Yeah, she's looking over at the bench there, and I think she's going to come out there. She kind of gave Scott Rogers the eye like, I think I need a little bit of a rest here.
Yeah, a little hitch in her step maybe. She's not limping badly. Probably a quick chance to regroup and get back out.
Replaced by Waterman, who gets the ball underneath, and she is fouled. And that's France's 5th foul if they're going to call it on her. She will foul out with their own points tonight. One of the starters. France came in with a 7-point average. It's a nice applause from the Bellbrook faithful here. Waterman makes her first one. She's now up to 7 points.
First of the starters in foul trouble for Bellbrook. Has exited the game.
Gets them both. Cougars now has turned to the 60 mark here in this game. 5:45 to go. Notre Dame trying to move on to the regional semifinals against a Princeton team that they have played more often than not over the years.
Yeah, you get to this point in the tournament, right? There's a lot of familiarity. We talked about the Cougars' schedule back in the first half. How they load up.
They did play Princeton. Did they play Princeton this year?
Trying to get my fingers on
yes,
it.
they did. They played them, beat them. Actually, they beat them. It was a forfeited game. Not sure what the
COVID.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the circumstances were in that game, but they did meet earlier in the season.
Three-pointer.
No good. Offensive rebound. Waterman, though, pulls it down.
It will be interesting once we get the stat sheet. I'm sure it'll be after we've ended the broadcast of Bellbrook's shooting percentage. We talked coming out of the break how it was, and certainly hasn't improved, especially beyond the arc.
That was Bailey Broughton with the rebound, by the way. Drive, no good by Kaylee Bradford. And tied up underneath there right now is Avery Boland. We're having some newer players coming in here. Scott Rogers is slowly emptying that bench.
Temper starting to flare. Just the third foul for the Cougars. Danielle Sharp, you see on your screen there.
5'8" junior. So Scott's pretty much emptied that bench right now.
Well, maybe that's part of the recipe for success for them. You have a group that can race out to a big lead, and then you can get your younger players some valuable experience in a live game.
Yeah, I would imagine that if you compare them to a lot of other teams, their bench players get a lot more playing time than a lot of other teams' bench players, which means that down the road, that's your future. Got away with it. Got away with a travel there, but Avery Boland does score a basket. 62-27.
Not too many Cougars that don't have points in the scorebook at this point.
No. Only 3 Bellbrook players scored in the first half, an additional 2 in this half.
Campbell mixing it up with Price. Campbell gets her first foul of the game. Cougars 4th the half.
Izzy Higgins in the game now, 5'9" sophomore. And Jason Tincher also going to start emptying the bench now with 2:52 to go. And actually right now, it's interesting. If you look up at the clock right now, we have a moving clock. I know they did that in football. I didn't know you did that in basketball unless the coaches agree.
Just in the tournament.
Okay.
I don't think it's in the. I don't believe it's in the regular season. It's just in the tournament.
All right. Understood. There's a nice little layup by Boland. She's got 4 points in this half. So the Cougars are going to move on, 25-0 on the season, 97 in a row.
Speechless, as talked about, run out of adjectives to describe how phenomenal and impressive some of their accomplishments are.
Unbelievable. Leanne Meyer got the foul. And Brittany Campbell at the line. Brittany a 41% foul shooter. A couple more players coming off the bench here for Jason Tincher.
Scully and Meyer checking out of the game.
Brittany Campbell gets in the scorebook with her first point. If you look at in this half right now, Glenn, Bellbrook has scored 2 baskets, both of them 3-pointers. Meyer have 1, Griffin have 1 in the third quarter. They are scoreless in this quarter.
Yeah, and good example of why right there. They just have not been getting the rolls because Mount Notre Dame has made it so tough around the basket.
Boland, short, offensive rebound, puts it up and in. How about Avery Boland, 6 points.
Yeah, it's 3 in a row for her, right?
Yeah. Boland, only a sophomore.
I'll tell you, Bill, this is only the second time I've called a Mount Notre Dame game, and boy, I forgot how impressive of a team they are.
Yeah, they are. White.
It's going to be about the end of it with the running clock.
Yep. You won't be able to go to the foul line. That's it. Sharp with the foul. Your final. Mount Notre Dame, an easy win, 67-27. The Cougars move on to play Princeton. As their district champions again, they move on to play Princeton on Tuesday. We will probably be covering that game for you. We'll have to see. The other game will be Mason and Winton Woods, and we're thinking that Waycross Television might be covering that game, so we'll see what happens. Thanks to Josh. Thanks to all people. Glenn, great working with you again.
Yeah, enjoyed it.
And I understand you're going to be in Pittsburgh on Tuesday, so enjoy yourself in Pittsburgh.
We'll be watching a different basketball game, but sure, I'm going to hate to miss this one, that's for sure.
All right. We'll be hopefully be seeing you in the regional semifinals. Bill Bresford, Glenn Olson, and great crew with ICRC-TV. Good night from Princeton High School.